I am Roychoudhury. I've been with Frappe from last 5 years, been representing the sales team. So today, this webinar would be conducted by my colleague Ankita. So Ankita, a quick introduction for her. Ankita is a lawyer by profession, but she doesn't look into just legal affairs at Frappe. She's also well engaged in the business side of things. Now she's working as the regional manager for the Africa region. So her key interest is like she does research and identify, how's the market responding, especially the African region. And now the interest is shifting from the agreement work that used to help us in Frappe to a complete holistic view of law and business as well. So thank you, Ankita, for joining, and thank you everyone for attending. Ankita, all over to you. Maybe you can start.
Thank you for us for that introduction. It's very nice to hear an introduction from someone else about yourself. So thank you so much for that quick introduction. And hello, everyone. Thank you, Vin, for joining this session today. We could see that there are almost 22 participants to this session. So we'll keep this session very, very interactive. So if you have some questions during the session, you can just put it in the chat box. We have enabled the chat box. You can put the questions in the chat box, or you can just unmute yourself and ask the questions. Moreover, before we start the session, let me just run a quick poll to understand what are your expectations out of this webinar. So I'm just running a poll right now, which will run for 1 minute. So I would request you to please do respond to the poll so that we can understand what are your expectations. And if you want to introduce yourself, because we have around 23 participants, you can just introduce yourself in the chat box. So it would be really nice to hear about you as well. Nice, we're getting good responses. So around 15 seconds more, then close the poll. Great. So I'll just end the poll and I'll share the results as well. So I hope the results are visible to you, all of you. So basically, we can see there's a quick blend of manufacturing, distribution, retail, and services. Maybe I'll share my screen also so that it's visible on the screen as well. So we could see that manufacturing, distribution, retail, and services, people are joining in. And very surprising that there are a lot of people who are looking for inventory, stock, procurement, sales, manufacturing, CRM, and HRMS. So inventory, procurement, sales, manufacturing, and CRM will be covering in today's session. So that's really nice. And maybe we'll touch upon HRMS, payroll, and project management too a bit. And that's really nice to hear that most of the people are evaluating ERPNext for their own company. So that's really nice. So let me stop sharing now the poll. So I hope my screen is visible. Faraz, can you just confirm with me?
Yeah, it's visible. Go for it.
Okay, all right. So I'll just give you a quick introduction about a company. So our company's name is Frappe Technologies, and we have been liberating the workplace since 2008. So there has been a lot of confusion with regard to the product as well as the company's name. So ERPNext is the product's name and Frappe is the company's name. And specifically, it is a short form for framework applications. If you want to know just a quick background of why we have come with the name Frappe. And being an open source product and a company promoting open source products, we plan to also build a very holistic and strong ecosystem around the product. So that is why we almost cater to around 10K plus customers. We have around 16K plus GitHub stars on ERPNext repository, 20K active developers community, and we have around 180 plus channel partners across 50 different countries. So, and we grow at a 40% annual growth rate. And though we have ERPNext as one of our flagship products, but we have other products as well, which we have built on our framework. In case you are in specific domain or industry, it might be useful for you to look into products like what you call CRM, game plan, a drive, wiki, LMS. Like in case you are educational institution, you can look into school management, where you can, Frappe school can be of great utility for you. And then you have learning management systems as well. So you have around 10 plus open source applications, and Frappe is the co-maintainer of all these applications. So coming to ERPNext, which is one of our flagship products, and primarily that's why all of us are here. So ERPNext is completely comprehensive, and we have a couple of modules which I've mentioned on the screen, like for example, financial accounting, stock procurement, manufacturing, sales, CRM, and project management, which is already available in ERPNext. So the core ERPNext includes all of these modules and all these available in the system itself. And not just this, but it is much, much more. So it cannot be covered as just one slide. So that is why we have only mentioned only the majorly used modules. But beyond that, there are other modules also, which is available in ERPNext. So not just being comprehensive, but the ERPNext is very powerful because it is built on the framework. So the framework allows it to be a very, very powerful tool. And it is API first. It is 100% mobile friendly, though we don't have a mobile application, but we have a web browser which can give you a good mobile view. So, and in the system also, you can also give roles and permissions to your employees or system users who are going to access the system, which and that's how you can manage the entire granular permissions at ERPNext level. And ERPNext can also manage multi-currency transactions, and we will see this today in the presentation as well. And it is also multi-subsidiary compatible. So if you have multiple affiliates and you want to administer ERPNext at a group level, so then multi-subsidiary compatibility becomes very much important. So that is also covered in ERPNext. And not just being powerful, but it is also the most agile ERP on the planet because of the framework, again, because it's low code, open source web framework. And we have already around 130 plus ready app integrations, which are available with banks, messaging applications, e-commerce like Shopify. So automatically this, and being at open source, these ready integrations are very much easy to be compatible with. I'm sorry, but I would request the attendees if you can mute yourself till the presentation is on. And if you have some questions, you can put it in the chat box. And it's completely scalable as well. So let's come up to what we are going to cover in this session. So we are going to take a use case of KJ Distributors. So KJ Distributor is an official distributor of Toyota. And this is completely anonymous. The company does not exist. So we have just made a use case around it. So we are considering the KJ Distributors is having around $1,000 crore annual turnover. And the nature of business of this distributor that they are official distributors of Toyota, and they're based out of Mumbai. And what their primary business is, that they are into distribution and they manage the in-house assembly of Toyota spare parts. And currently, they have around 200 employees, and they have around 12 to 15 warehouses around the country. So primarily, what they are looking for is a very good warehouse management system. Now, what we are going to cover in this session, since they want a very holistic warehouse management system, and currently they're using Tally. We'll show how the migration will happen, how we can do an effective way of migration from Tally to ERPNext. Then we'll show how the entire company setup will happen in ERPNext, and we'll then dive into the inventory masters and go into transactions and show a quick manufacturing cycle, right? So let's dive into the ERPNext demo. So this is my home screen of ERPNext. So you can see that I can also change the logo over here. So it can come off the company's logo. So it can be completely customizable. So basically this how the home screen would be visible for a company. And what the home screen also provides, this home screen can be completely customizable. So each of the users who are logging into the system can customize their visibilities around the home screen as well. So if you want to hide some modules, right? So you can do that as well. Like you can edit the home screen. And like, for example, maybe because of this webinar, maybe when we are only covering buying, selling, stock, maybe we'll hide HR, we'll hide quality, and we'll keep the other ones. So, and then you can save it. So once it's saved, you refresh it. So a customized module section will be visible to the user. Along with that, you can create your own shortcuts. You can create own, each of the modules, you can even customize as per your requirements. And there's a quick help section over here as well, which can help you navigate through documentation. So in case you want to have a look through on the ERPNext documentation, you can have a look over here. And you can also go in and look for Frappe support. Like in case you are facing any issues, you can directly navigate it from the system itself. Also, this profile button will help you go through your own profile. It will also help you to check your own settings. You can even create your own session defaults as well. You can actually create that which default company should be visible once you are logging in. So if you are managing a lot of affiliates, but each of the users should have a default company, which it should be visible at the home screen itself. So you can set that as well. So that's about the home screen visibilities. Then coming to a quick setup of the company masters. So I'll quickly dive into the company list. I'll go to the tree view. So there are many ways of how you can even view your lists as well, like even the company master or your warehouse or your inventory. So you can have a tree view, you can have a report view, you can have a dashboard view, Kanban, or image view. So for company, generally what we recommend is that you can use a tree view because it gives you a complete view of which are the group of companies, which are subsidiaries, which are affiliates. So it becomes much more easier. So these are the companies which we have created. So Karanji, Jeevanji is one of them, but you can actually create multiple companies below KJ distributors as well. So you can create subsidiaries and all of that. So once you do that, you can even edit the defaults as well for the company. So this is the company. So I need to create the defaults before we start with the transactions. So basically, when it comes to setting the company, you need to set your accounts masters, like what will be your default bank accounts, your payable accounts, then your buying and selling terms, your default warehouse for sales returns, if you're managing returns as well of your products. Then HR and payroll, like your expense claim payable amounts. employee advance amounts. If it is separate, you can maintain it separate. Then your inventory management, for your inventory management, all your accounts where it should hit. So you can do that as well. So you can have your default inventory accounts, adjustment accounts, that also can be managed in the system, right? So once your company masters company is set up, you can dive into setting of your masters to do the transactions. So basically, when it comes to setting the masters, first thing would be items, setting of items. Basically, like if you are into the service sector, then you will have service items. So you can manage service items also in ERPNext. So if I just want to even see all the service items, I can just check it from here. So one of the items is service items. If I want to check raw materials, I can check it over here. If I want to see finished goods, that is under products. So you can see all of that. So so you can add in all your items, and like, for example, items, like for example, if I want to show you the stock levels as well, that is also visible in the item master as well. Like for example, you have the item name, group, you can put in a valuation rate, you can define a unit of measure, and the dashboard is something very interesting because it will help you manage your stock levels. So if you have like a stock over here in stores F, like I have defined that all the stock of Innova Crista Red goes to stores F, but you want to transfer some stocks to some other warehouse, you can move or add stock levels from the item list itself. So it will directly create a material request for you. So you can do that from the item master itself. Then you can put in the inventory settings as well. If you have a perishable item, you can put the shelf life in days. If you have some manufacturing items where you have to give warranty, so you can define the warranty period also. In case you want to create variants, so there is a section of variants as well. So Innova Crista is kind of a variant of a template which we have already created for Innova Crista. So basically, we have given an attribution of color. So you can have one item, and under that, you can have multiple attributes like size, color, all of that can be defined in ERPNext as well. Then, of course, under accounting, the company will be defined, and you have the purchasing minimum order quantity if you want to set up, if you want to set up a safety stock also. And if, like, for example, if you want to define the supplier, like for this item, if you want, like, only specific supplier will be issued purchase orders. So you can do that as well. You can define the suppliers over here as well. Then you have sales, the tax you can define, quality and manufacturing. So like in case you are looking for subcontracting, if it's a subcontracting item, then you can put that supply raw materials from purchase. So in that way, in case of a subcontracting, if you are managing subcontracting, then this is also very, very useful. So yes, so that is about the item list. Now we can also manage the supplier list also. So basically, you need to define all of your masters before we start any transactions. So here you can also map out your suppliers, and you can add suppliers as well. You can put in their company details, their address. And in case for users who are using it from India, so basically we have the India compliance already there. So if you are doing some transactions intrastate or interstate, so automatically when you are punching in the address for each of the suppliers or customers, and you are releasing any purchase invoice or a sales invoice, automatically the tax liability which will be applicable will be done automatically, because it is going to be fetching your addresses from your customer masters or your supplier masters. So we already have that India compliance already available in the system. So so that kind of reduces a lot of manual work which needs to be done, or setting your taxes, putting HSN number and all of that. So because I can show you for some. So like Satwa infrastructures, you can put the tax over here. Like if it is a registered uh, uh, what do you call company, you can put it, you can put the GST number. So automatically, and you can put the tax category out state. So whenever you are selecting this supplier, it is automatically going to put the outstate GST. Now let me come to the customer master. So for customer master, let me do a quick data import. So like, for example, you might be having data in some other system, like maybe you are using some current system where you are migrating to ERPNext. So how will you do that? So there's a very interesting tool in ERPNext, which is called data import. So I can import from the doc type directly, or you can go to a data import doc type. So this navigation bar over here will help you browse through faster to other doc types as well. So let me do a import from here. So I have already the data import created over here, but I need to upload the file, right? So I'll punch in the file. So I'm putting in, I had 3 customers over here, and all the details were mentioned over here. So whatever details was there in the Excel sheet, which I have attached, it's mapping all the details. Now I'm just going to start the import. It's successfully imported. Now, if I come to my customer master, these 3 customer lists are already available. It's already generated. So I don't have to manually put all the details in the system and all of that. So you can do that with pretty much all the modules which are there. Like everything is, every masters is possible through data import. You can import, you can export. So that helps in the entire navigation, and even if you're using any existing system to actually shift to ERPNext, because this is a very powerful tool. Yeah. So, and for customers as well, there's something very, very interesting as well. If you, just a second, my internet is running a bit slow. So there is something called as credit limit as well. So if in case you want to give a credit limit also, like for in this case, I want to give this much of credit limit, because in case like there might be some payment defaults that the customer might be facing if you're giving multiple sales order to the customer, then if you want to set a credit limit that beyond this the sales order cannot be generated, so that you can do. In case you want to bypass credit limit also, you can check this box as well. So I can set all of that in the customer master as well. So that being done, after all of these masters, now you want to give accesses to some of your employees or other users who are going to use the system in your company, right? So we have something called as user list, and we don't like ERPNext or any of our products does not have any limitations of defining the number of users in the system, because it is user free. So it doesn't depend on how many users are going to be accessing the system. You can define multiple users in the system. So I've defined already 3. So one of them is a website user and 2 of them are system users. So you can define multiple users, and you can also give them role permissions and role profiles as well. Sorry. So you can give them role permissions, like you can define role profiles, like a customer role or inventory role. So inventory role will include only access to item manager, stock user, stock manager, or you can give them an admin access, which will give access to all of them. So all of that also you can do. So if I want to just give HR, so they will get an expense approver. And in this also, if you want to give them some read, write, create, delete, submit. So if this also you want to alter, that also you can do. So the system is completely flexible to defining your own role permissions, role profiles, all of that. So this is the basic setup of ERPNext. Basically, you need to define your item masters, you need to define your supplier masters, your customer masters, and also the system users and the website users who are going to be using the system. Like, for example, in case you are having suppliers who are going to give you RFQ through the portal itself, then you can give them a website user access, which will not allow them to have access to the backend. Now coming to transactions. So we'll run a quick buying cycle first. Let me do that. So I'll come to the buying module. Sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah. So this is your buying module. Yeah. So you can actually access the purchase order from the buying module directly, or how you can navigate is that you can navigate from the awesome bar, which is at the top. I personally prefer using the awesome bar. So I'll just go to the purchase order and I'll try to run a quick purchase cycle. So in this case, maybe I'm procuring some spare parts or some items from the Toyota Motor Corporation, which is in Japan, and we are incoming the items in India. So basically, it is a what you call a currency transaction as well. So I need to put the required by date. Maybe I need Toyota Innova Crista. So here the rate is not auto fetched, but in case you want an auto fetching of rates as well, what you can do is that you can go to the item master. I can actually show you also this. And you can give it a purchase price. I can give it a item price also. Let me give it a standard selling. I give it for 50,000. So for each Innova Crista Black, it will be around 50,000, but I can also put the INR. This is an INR, but I need to put this in USD. So I can duplicate it and give it a USD pricing. So yeah. So I can put the taxes also in case it's an India transaction, and if it is intrastate or interstate. So the tax liability can be automatically fetched depending on the customer's address details. So let me submit this. So I have submitted the purchase order. Now from purchase order, I do not have to go do all the navigations, but I can directly create a purchase receipt. So I have ordered for one Innova Krista Black, and I need to receive the amount in the item to my warehouse. So I can do that, and I can put in the accepted warehouse. So basically, where am I receiving the item also? I can put that as well. I want to receive it in stores F. So I'll do that. So once I have created the purchase receipt, I can actually check my stock ledgers as well, what impact is happening in my stock ledger. So basically, I have got an in quantity of 1. And so basically, the transaction has been done in USD, but basically over here it is showing in INR. And I can choose the currency over here as well. So if I want to actually define it on the basis of INR or USD, that also I can define it from here. The system allows to do that. But currently, by default, I have put it in INR because it's a company based out of India. So automatically, the exchange rates and all of that gets mapped out. So from purchase receipt, I'm going to create a purchase invoice. Once I've created a purchase invoice, I need to make a payment entry for this. So basically, the paid amount is 4,17,450. The received amount is 5,000 USD. It is putting a target exchange rate of 83.49, which is today's current exchange rate. And currently, since I'm doing the purchase and getting the receipt on the same day, a purchase order and the purchase invoice on the same day. So there is no difference of the USD exchange rate. So that is why there is no difference amount. But in case you are doing it in separate dates as well, the difference amount gets highlighted over here, and it goes into your exchange gain and loss. So there's a separate category which is called as exchange gain and loss. Under that, it falls. So I can put in the details of the transaction ID as well. And I submit. So now I can see the accounting ledger impact as well. So I can see my creditors have been debited and my bank account has been credited. And I can only see specifically to the transaction what impact it is happening in the general ledger. So if you want to do it for all the transactions, so you want to just generally see the general ledger, you can remove all the filters from here, then the entire general ledger will be visible to you. Okay. So basically, this is how a purchase cycle looks like for a multi-currency transaction. In case now we'll just quickly dive into the selling cycle as well. But before I dive into the selling cycle, if there are any questions which any of you have, I can see there are a lot of questions which are there in the chat box, and Faraz have already answered a couple of them. But in case anyone has any questions with regard to the purchase or the standard company setup or home screen or anything like that, you can ask. Then just unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hi, Ankita.
Hi.
So I'm speaking from a retail company. We're an upcoming fashion brand. We would be having our own manufacturing unit, as well as we'll be, outsourcing a lot of clothing items, which would be sold on our online store as well as offline store and marketplaces, and thereafter. So we're going to be a house of brands. I wanted to understand how our dashboard is going to be set up here. I mean, the company creation that you highlighted in the beginning, that is going to be created for our sub brands, right?
Yeah. So basically, so you have only one company, or is it multiple companies?
One company, but like multiple brands under the company.
Okay. So we'll set up one company only, but when you say brands, so these are product brands?
Right. Yeah, product brands, and then various categories under them.
Okay, so basically, the product brands, we'll define it as part of item groups. Like each of the brands will be defined as a separate item group. And under the item group, we'll define the item masters. So basically, you might be having also variants, right? Because you might be, you are into the fashion industry, so you might be selling commodities which will have a lot of attributes.
Yeah. Correct.
So as I mentioned that though it is what do you call it, a Toyota car industry, which I showed you, but basically the general setup is very much similar because there are variants.
Yeah.
So that's like we'll use the same principle to define it for your company as well, and that's how the entire setup can happen, like for your brands as well as. And then coming to your retail side, so so because of the shortage of time of this webinar, maybe I can take this separately also with you. But what we have is a POS. We have the point of sale system as well, which can help you manage your entire retail sector as well. So maybe we need to have a separate session for this because
correct.
So because we need to show you the entire how your entire marketplace structuring can happen in the system.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. So maybe what you can do is that you can just drop in your email. So the chat box for us is already there. So we'll keep a note of it and we'll get back to you since you are already evaluating ERPNext. So maybe we'll help you and get in touch with a salesperson and they can help you set a quick demo for the retail side of things.
Right, would be great. I've dropped my email ID on the chat box.
Great. That's great.
And I also wanted to understand how we would be, segregating our procurements from vendors, and then, the products that have been manufactured in-house, etc.
Yeah, I'm going to cover the manufacturing cycle right now. After the selling cycle, I'm going to show you the manufacturing cycle.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. I could see some questions in the chat box, but due to the limitation of time, I'm going to take these questions at the end of the session. Hope that's okay with everyone. And a couple of them I can see that Faraz is already reverting to all of them. So great. So let me just quickly dive into the selling cycle. So for selling cycle, we quickly navigated through from the selling module. So you can each of the module has its own dashboard. So this is something very interesting, which I might have missed out in the beginning. So each of the module has its own dashboards as well. So you can even customize your own dashboards from here. So you can see sales order trends, and you can also define other reports. So you can create customized reports as well as per your requirement. Like out of the box, which is available in the system, we have sales analytics, we have sales order analysis, sales funnel if you want to define, quotation trends, like how your entire quotations per day is working, like how many quotations the sales team is generating every day, and at like what is the amount for these quotations. So all of these you can actually see. Now let me quickly dive into the lead list. So basically that's where the starting point for selling and CRM begins. So how can you actually get in the leads in the system? So you have your own website and you are dealing with clients, or you are having prospects who are going to be soon getting converted to as a customer. So how can you map all of that? So you might be having a contact us page on your website. So because of the shortage of time, I have defined already a contact us form. So basically, you can have different sources. You can have email IDs, email ID through which you are getting leads, and automatically can map it out in the system. Or maybe you have the contact us page on your own website. From there, you are getting the navigation of leads to your website. So this is like whatever is available in the module, but you can customize it. So you can remove not so required fields in the system from the web form. This is a quick web form which I created. But when I'm just putting some details, maybe XYZ, I open, I can put in the job title as manager, female, yeah, and then I save it. So once I submitted this, automatically the system is generating the lead in the system. So I can customize the contact us form also depending what is my requirements and all of that. So that also I can do. And whatever details you want it to be mandatory, you can define a mandatory fields also in the system. How I have done that, I have done it from the web form list. So I have created a contact us page separately because what is available out of the box is very limited. So I want more details to be captured who are visiting my website. So I can do the customizations which is required. So I can just get the fields. And if you like, for example, only a first name is mandatory over here. But if I want like the company organized company name also to be a mandatory field, I can give it a mandatory choice. And then if I refresh this, so organization name is mandatory field now. So a person who's entering into your contact us page will need to fill this field. So you can define, you can hide fields, you can define fields, you can create mandatory fields, and you can even change the entire section of this page also. We have the builder which will help you to even create wonderful designs as well. So you can design also your entire home page which is available on your website. So now let me come back to the system. So lead I have generated. So my name is the lead in the system. So now from here, I can directly create opportunity, or some customers, some organizations prefer that they want to create a customer directly. That also you can do. You can create a prospect also from the lead. So basically how you want to filter out the entire lead list. So it all depends on your own workflow. So you can define your workflow, and according to that, you can create whichever masters you want. So from lead list, I can create an opportunity. So I can create this, and I can also define the sales stage. So here I can see there are multiple sales stage, like all of them, but I need to add more stages, or maybe I need to delete more sales stages. So I can add or delete or disable some of the sales stages which is there. And also, like, for example, if you want to even customize this form, there's something called as customize form. So each of the doc types which is available in the system, In case you have a particular field or a particular information that you require in the system to capture, that also you can add through the customized form if it is a core module. If it is a completely customizable module, like it is not available in the system and you have created a doc type from scratch, that also you can do. Maybe I can add field over here. Text field. Full address. Okay. Yeah. So it is already done in the system. So now if, oh, I'm so sorry. I've done it in warehouse. Opportunity. Yes. Update. Updated. So now I can go to the, in case you have any questions, you can put in the chat box. I'll take up at the end of the session. So now address also has come as a field. So you can define your own fields, you can delete fields, you can hide fields which you don't require. So all of these are available in the system. So which makes the entire product to be very customizable. So from opportunity list now, I create maybe a customer. I can create customer types. Like there are 4 of them which is already defined in the system, but if you want to create more customer types, you can go to the customize form, add in more customer types as well. And your customer now gets linked to your lead list as well as your opportunity list. Yeah. All the details will automatically get fetched, and the company details will come at the top. So once you do that, we have created a lead, we have created an opportunity, we created a customer. If your workflow is different, like if you want to create I'm sorry, Aiki, can you just put your question in the chat box for the time being? I think you are raising your hand.
Okay.
Yeah. We are seeing the selling cycle. Now we can actually create a sales order. So we covered the CRM piece where like once the opportunity is created, from the opportunity itself, you can even create a sales order as well. Like you are giving a sales order to the opportunity, that also you can create it from here. You can create a quotation, you can create a sales order as well. So I'll go and create a sales order. So maybe I'm selling it off to Grants Plastic Limited. Delivery date is 12. I am giving So, let's apply and configure. So once I fetch this, I can put a tax category also, like the sales tax which gets applicable. So output GST in tax gets automatically fetched. If I put this, it automatically calculates the GST. These are all possible because of India compliance. You can even add your terms and conditions. You can add payment terms as well. You can even give like like advance amount. You can define the remaining payments and all of these payment terms also. And you can submit. Now the sales order has been generated. Now you can just have a quick print format also, like how the sales order is generated, right? So this is one of the sales order which is generated. You can also define print formats. This is the print form which is already by default in the system, but you can define and create a very beautiful sales order as well. Like you can even change the image size of the logos. You can even change the form, like the font of the sales order which is written. You can put in your company logo, and all the details will be visible as well over here. You can even compact, remove the compact size. So all of this can be possible in the sales order. And in case you want to even share the sales order with any of the people and you want to email someone, so you can put in anyone's email ID and you can directly give a message over here and you can attach the attachment and just send it across. So the system allows you to send emails directly from the doc type itself. And if you have already the emails available in the system, so you can directly generate it from the system. Now you have the sales order created. Now from the sales order, I will create a delivery note. So from the delivery note, since we have an India compliance, so you can even generate the e-way bill as well. So that also you can do that from the system. Now I want to generate a sales invoice because I need to bill it. Because from my warehouse, it is already shipped. Now I don't need to create a sales invoice. So all of them gets auto-fetched from the delivery note itself. So you don't have to manually do it every time, all the details. So this is unpaid. So we create the payment entry. Put in the reference. So here, if you see, basically this is a 59 lakhs. So basically it is including your GST as well as your the amount. So all of these are auto fetched. So automatically the payment is going to be inclusive of the GST. So that is done. So now it's submitted. Now I can see the ledger impact as well in the system. So my debtors got notified. My bank account has been debited. So that impact is already given in my general ledger. And we can also see against which accounts it has been debited and credited against. So those are also visible in the general ledger. So now, because of the limitations of time, let me quickly jump into manufacturing I'm so sorry that I have to, I'm cutting the Q&A after this CRM as well as selling cycle. I'll jump quickly into the manufacturing cycle because there are many attendees today joining in for manufacturing specifically. So for manufacturing, we'll do a quick demo. So under manufacturing, ERPNext can cover all of these manufacturing types. All of these transactions can be covered through ERPNext. We can cover make to stock, we can cover make to order, and engineer to order. And these are already handled by ERPNext. So in today's sessions, we'll cover from make to stock transactions. So we'll create material request, we'll create a standard BOM, we'll create work order, then release job cards, and then complete the entire manufacturing cycle, right? So let me just quickly dive into that. So let me go into the manufacturing module. So there are already a couple of shortcuts which are available, and there are already some out-of-box reports which are available in the system. We have production planning report, we have work order summary, we have quality inspection. So these are already available in the system, right? So we have a BOM create, I'm so sorry, through which you can even create single level or multiple level BOMs. So for example, we can handle in-house manufacturing along with manufacturing of sub-assembly items, or like even subcontracting sub-assembly items as well. So all of these three items can be managed through a multi-level BOM as well, if through the job BOM creator. So we have already created couple of BOMs which are available in the system. So let me just quickly dive into the BOM list. So I've already created. I'll do a quick run for BOM Innova Crista Red. So basically this I have created already. So for assembling of this Innova Crista Red, I would be requiring Toyota Innova spare parts. So that is kind of a sub-assembly item which is connected to this BOM. So if I have a look at this BOM as well, so this BOM actually includes all of these raw materials. So we have bonnet cable, we have oil filters, we have brake pad, we have brake pad, and we have front grille as well. And like there are no operations for this, but this is a BOM which is going to be creating the sub-assembly item. So I'll just maybe not this, but I'll take a one which has some operations. So yes, this has operations. So this is Innova Black, and we have similar of these raw materials, but this is not I'm so sorry. So these are the raw materials which are visible, and for manufacturing this, or maybe assembling and painting, whichever is remaining operations which are left, like assembling and painting and polishing, it needs to be done in-house. And there are no scrap or process loss, but in case you have any scrap or process loss, you can map it out in the system. And it also gives your operation cost, your raw material cost, and all of that. So from the BOM, we can create a work order. For this, I need to manufacture one quantity of Innova Crista Black. I can do that directly from the bill of materials. So for creating Innova Crista Black, I would be requiring all of this. And like why these are getting fetched, because this is a sub-assembly item. So once I submit the work order, operation is required. So I have defined it in such a way that for each of the items, I need to define what operation is required. This is not necessary in case you don't want to define the operations for each of the item codes. But since my setting is done that I need to define it, that is why I'm doing this. That's it. Save the work order and submit the work order. Okay, Concurrent does not have information. My work order is submitted. So once the work order is submitted, I can see here the job cards are also created. So I can go to the connections. I can see the job cards are already created, right? So before starting the job card, it will tell me to actually do a material transfer. Basically, from my store's warehouse, it will go to a warehouse which is work in progress, basically where you are going to be doing the operations. I'm so sorry, my internet is running a bit slow today. That is why there are a lot of hiccups in the presentation. So here I can see that there's a material transfer. So I'll do a material transfer from store's warehouse to work in progress. Once I've done that, I refresh it. It will now allow me to do the job because it is already in the warehouse now, where all the systems are available to do that operations. So then we can start the job card. But before starting the job card, I will do the material transfer for this job card as well. So how many operations will you have? That many job cards it will get created. And you can even define the workflow of your job card. There's something called as routing, which will allow you to not start the second operation without finishing the first operation. Now I start the job. Start it. So I can actually give from 2, I can give it a time. I can give it 10, 20, so that this shows me some around 17 minutes. Now I submit it. I'm just stopping the job because like it will take some time to finish 20 minutes of it. So I've just put the from and to time and just submit it. So this is done. It has started already. So complete the job. Once the job cards are completed, if I just come back to the work order, so my work order is now started because I have not finished it yet. So now I put this as completed. Now this is a manufacture entry. So basically from all my work in progress warehouses, it is going to my finished good warehouse. I've submitted it. Now I can actually view the stock ledger. So the stock ledger, there's an out quantity and there's an in quantity in the finished goods. And also you can also check into the warehouses as well. You can put like all these reports, you can even add columns. You can remove columns, you can add columns, all of that as well. Okay, so this is the warehouses which is going to get impacted. So work in progress warehouses have been all out and finished good warehouse is been input. Now I can also see the accounting ledger. So I can see here that my stock in hand has been debited for the manufacture of this stock. And there is also expenses which has happened included in valuation. So basically it is calculating my electricity cost, my freight cost, like basically all the cost which has happened during my production of this item is all calculated as part of these expenses included in valuation and is put it as part of the credit item to balance it out. So that impact will be also visible. And sometimes what happens is that since we are dealing with manufacturing process, there's a very interesting doc type which is called as warehouse list. So you can also manage your warehouse also in the system. So you can see the report as well. I always prefer to use it as a form of a tree view because you can see a group warehouses. So basically it functions like a company master only. So you can define your group warehouses, your subsidiary warehouses and all of that. So you can define multiple stores, multiple work in progress warehouses for different companies. So, and each of the companies, you can actually see each of their warehouses as well. So that also you can define the system. And for so for each warehouse as well, you can even each of the warehouse can actually be considered as a separate cost center also. Like for example, if you have internal suppliers, right, where internal third party suppliers, so to them you are giving off for subcontracting processes. So there is a accounting impact you want to show in your accounting ledger. So that also you can show it if you want to define it over here. So each of the times you are doing a transfer from one warehouse to another warehouse, you can actually do that through the system by defining it as a separate expense head in the system. So that's about it. So
Ankita,
yeah,
time check. We
that
had
time
already.
check. Yeah, so we have kind of covered a bit of on the manufacturing side. So if anyone has any questions, please, you can.
So we'll open the Q&A round and then we should conclude because already we've
Yeah,
overshooted
yeah,
the promised time.
yeah. So maybe we can take a couple of questions if people have any questions.
I've answered most of the questions that attendees have mentioned in the chat and the Q&A thing. In case there are still any questions that are not answered or you have any doubts, please let us know.
Hi Ankita, this is Arijit here.
Yeah, hi Arijit.
Ma'am, the things regarding the inventory module today, that's why we have attended this webinar. So can you please elaborate few things in inventory module, how we can explore and we can use the maximum efficiency of this application? And the second thing is that how it is segregating the rooms in the warehouse, like any rooms process or any rack process, these areas, how we can segregate. And third thing is that now yesterday only we have availed the trial 14 days trial period policies. So where some of the options are not working, like see whenever we are asking for a warehouse tree, it is not showing. Yesterday only we have just explored that thing. So whenever you are like this awesome bar, very good like mindset awesome bar, when we are searching regarding here, so there we are asking for warehouse tree, you should directly redirect us directly to that point, but it is not redirecting. So can
Okay.
you please
Have you generated a support ticket for this?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay, so
Because
what you can do,
I was waiting for the webinar. Afterwards, we
okay,
will
okay.
start.
So what you can do, like from here itself, from the help section, there's something called a Frappe support. So you can directly raise the ticket from here for your issues which you are having. Moreover, in terms of inventory management, may I know that like what all have you mapped already in the system?
As of now, yesterday only we started. Before that, we were just looking around.
Hmm.
So just we have excavated 4 or 5 warehouses where we were trying to put some parent warehouse. Under that, sister warehouse will be there. And regarding the rakes should be there. Like if a 10,000 square feet of warehouse is there, definitely it will have separate
Shelves
departments
and
or
all of
shelves.
that. Yeah,
The
correct.
whatever the like sector wise, like we are dealing with a consultancy firm, we are having largest slab of soil. And second thing, we have the survey division also, that means instruments will be there. Okay, so survey and geotechnical part is totally different. So that means in the same warehouse 2 rooms will be there, and each department having different types of equipments. That means rack should be different. So that purpose we need these type of things, small inputs. I know that you will be running short of time. Just lead
Yeah.
us to these areas.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so I'll take a question into different parts. So first is your inventory and warehouse management.
Correct.
So first is like defining your items. So I would advise you to create separate item groups. Define your own service items and your stock items. And on the basis of that, like once you define your item master, you go to your warehouse list. Since you are having some issues right now on your warehouse list, you can generate the ticket to our support portal to get that resolved. Then after the resolution is done, you can define the group warehouse, your stock, your sister warehouses, and then you start punching in entries for each of the items against your warehouse. So you will be having current stock in each of the warehouses, right? So you can define that. And under the warehouse itself, like sister warehouse also, you can define shelves, room, shelves. So it like subsidiary. So you can define shelves. So each of the shelves also will be working as a separate warehouse, but it will be within that warehouse itself.
Exactly, you are
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. So you can do that. We have done that for a manufacturing company already. Yes, 2 participants are already raising their hand. I hope I answered your question. Maybe you can punch in your email in the chat box. Me and Faraz will get
And
back to you on this.
And also, see, there are two ways. Either you can self-implement, you can go through the videos and documentation Frappe School online, or if for any complex implementation, we highly recommend you talk to our partners, official partners who've done these complex configurations and implementations. So you share them the entire use case. They would be happy to help you, and you can implement rather than do the re-engineering on stuff. So they are the experts. You can get help from them. We can help you to connect to the right partners based on your needs. So, you can reach out to us as well in case you need some consulting or partners that can help.
So I'm just dropping in our sales team email ID as well. So maybe you can reach out to this to us over this email ID, and our team will help you get in touch with the concerned partner who can help you with the implementation. Any other questions? I could see I'm so sorry, I'm not being able to pronounce your name.
Yeah,
Please go ahead.
do you have LMS out of the box that does not need customization anymore? And in that case, does it include hosting?
So our hosting is all mapped out through Frappe Cloud. So like if you are taking a learning management system, so in case you are logging in from a frappecloud.com, or if you have a frappecloud.com account, you can actually manage it from there itself, because this is already available in our marketplace. So you can just download that from there.
It's ready to run.
Yeah,
Very
it's already,
little customization, right?
yeah, it's the core product is already available, LMS core product.
Right,
Is
all
that
the
And
good
out-of-the-box
for?
features that you can use, IK,
yeah,
is available on the LMS, and you can just go on Frappe Cloud,
yeah,
set up your
Okay.
site within few clicks, install this application. Yeah, this is Frappe Cloud, right? So within Frappe Cloud, once you sign up, you would be able to install this application. So every product, let's LMS, ERPNext, HR, these are all products that we have. So
yeah.
just go and sign up, and you would be able to use all
You
these
can,
applications.
yeah, you can get started from here. And oh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you can just get started. You can just put in your login. You can choose a plan, and you can start with LMS. It will be visible in your applications. And in case you need some help understanding the documentation, I've shared the link over for frappe.io learning. So you can go through the documentation to have an entire navigation through the product. And in case you have any questions, we have already dropped in our email for of our revenue team, so they can help you with it.
All right, if there are no questions, we'll conclude, and we'll be there further in case you have any more questions. Ankita,
Yeah.
I've already dropped you an email ID. You can reach us.
Also, there's one more quick thing that before ending this session, we are just going to there is once we are finishing this webinar, there is a quick link to give
Feedback.
us feedback. So please do give us your valuable feedback, and also give us any negative feedback also if possible, because if we always are looking for improving these webinars and help you get assistance through these webinars. So any valuable feedback will be really beneficial for us. And I think there are some follow-up questions. So Aiki, what you can do is that you can just write directly to me. I will take your questions, and anyone who have further questions, you can directly write to me or the revenue team. We will have happy to answer those questions. And we are sorry to cut this short because of the limitation of time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. So the feedback would be automatically gone to all the participants, right? I do not have to send anything.
You
So
know,
it will be there. Cool. Thank you again, everybody,
Thank
for your time. And thanks, Ankita, for your wonderful walkthrough for ERPNext, and I understand it's very comprehensive. So we might not be able to cover all the features and modules, but it was well detailed. Bye-bye, take care, and we'll catch up again next week, same time, for a new webinar. Bye-bye, take care.